The September 15th, 2025 Columbus City Council meeting will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, a current copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Assistant Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Alarcon. Here. Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Lopez. Here. Polensky.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mr. Council President.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight over ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sit down and not have a chair. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to speak to any agenda item, we'd ask that you please come forward and state your name, your address, and we'd ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll move on to our consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the September 2nd, 2025 budget hearing. Item 4B, minutes of the September 2nd, 2025 City Council meeting. Item 4C, reappointment of Jean Knapp, Bonnie McPhillips, Cindy Vandenberg, and Larry Winter to the Senior Center Advisory Board for 3-year terms. Item 4D, resolution number R25-118, authorizing the mayor to sign the municipal annual certification of program compliance 2025 to Nebraska Board of Public Roads Classification and Standards. Item 4E, resolution number R25-119, approving the lease to hangar aircraft agreement with Sea Aviation LLC. The Board of Airport Commissioners recommends approval. Item 4F, Resolution R25-120, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. Item 4G, Finance Department report. Item 4H, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and council members, is there anything you would like removed from the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. We have a proclamation this evening that I would read to the public. In recognition of Move Your Way Day, whereas regular physical activity and healthy eating are essential for improving individual and community health outcomes, reducing the risk of chronic disease, and promoting quality of life across all stages of life. And whereas the Move Your Way campaign, based on the physical activity guidelines for Americans, encourages individuals of all ages and abilities to find enjoyable, realistic ways to move more each day, whether through dancing, yard work, walking, or caring for family. And whereas East Central District Health Department is committed to supporting residents in making practical, sustainable health choices, and recognizes that access to wellness opportunities should be inclusive of people with functional needs, limited resources, or barriers to traditional fitness and nutritional programs. Whereas Move Your Way Day celebrates the power of small changes, bringing free Zumba classes, teach kitchen cooking sessions, and community-centered wellness activities to the people of Columbus in a way that meets them where they are. And whereas when local government, health departments, and community members work together, we create stronger, more resilient communities that value the health and dignity of every resident. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, Mayor of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim Saturday, September 20th, 2025, as Move Your Way Day in Columbus, Nebraska, and encourage all residents to participate in the day's events and explore new ways to move more, eat well, and support one another in the pursuit of healthier lives. All right, with that, we'll move on to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, the 1 and 6 year road plan.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Is there anyone here to speak for this public hearing? How about Mr. Bogus just let the public know what this public hearing is?
Sure. So annually, you're required to do a 1 and 6 year road plan. Not only required, it's also a really good idea. And so what it does is it provides what your plan is for the upcoming year on doing road improvements that meet those designations. These are not maintenance projects. These are like the highway project and the bridge project and some private subdivisions that'll be turned over to the city. It's things of those nature. So that's in the 1 year plan. Then there's like longer term 6 year plans, what they call it, which would be all the improvements you plan on doing theoretically in the next 6 years, but I think we all know that it doesn't work that way budget-wise, so some are on for a longer term. So what this is it provides that documentation, you send it off to the Nebraska Department of Transportation, allows you to get highway allocation funds, just a good planning tool.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Bogus?
Yes, Mr. Bogus, you mentioned these are the 1 and 6 year plans are not part of the maintenance program.
Correct.
Can you just explain the maintenance program a little bit so everybody understands?
Yep, maintenance program was the pavement management program that was approved at the last city council meeting. So annually, again, actually it's a continual document that the Public Works Department of Engineering does. It looks at all the roads in the cities and what the impacts they have of roads that need to be improved. So is it causing damages? Is there rideability? There are other issues out there. So all the roads are evaluated all the time. And then we come up with a list. And then, of course, that's tied to the budget, too, on how much budgeting there is for that. And so this last council meeting, we approved some projects to be put into the 2026 pavement management program. So those are just maintenance projects. The 1 and 6 be something like if you were to widen the road or things of that nature, it shows up in this 1 and 6 year program.
Thank you.
Rick, on your map, I understand the colors for the 1 and 6 year plan. What is the purple or pinkish color? What does that indicate?
Oh, I don't know. Colorblind, you know. Oh, I see. Yeah, those are, okay, so that's a base map. And so it's a base map of roads that might be closed, alleys that might be closed, things of that nature. So, yeah, I really only pay attention to the black M numbers and the red M numbers.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Bogus? All right,
Move the public hearing be closed.
we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7A1, resolution number R25-121, adopting the 1 and 6 year road plan.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R 25-121 be adopted.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R 25-121. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to updates on the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
Reports of city offices. Item 9A, update on the Nebraska Department of Transportation 23rd Street Reconstruction Project. Mr. Bogus?
We're getting closer. So all the major street pours have been done and cured out. So what they're working on now is some of the, I guess I'll call it the shouldering, the sidewalks, the stamped concrete, things of that nature. So today, they also started working on some of the permanent striping. With that, it'll be a little bit of a hassle here this week or so. They have to go to each one of the major intersections and do the crosswalks and things of that nature. So they have a plan to do more or less one intersection a day, weather permitting, but they would not start until after the morning rush, after school starts, if you will, and each one of those intersections to be done by about 2 o'clock or so. So again, hopefully done before the school ends and getting out. That's going to be a little bit of hassle. And then next week, the plan is to start to, get more of the lanes open, so they'll separate the traffic. There's actually going to be on the outside lanes, one lane each direction. So the middle, you won't be driving in part of next week or most of the next couple of weeks probably. They have things you have to finish in there. They have islands they have to finish up in there. They got permanent striping and things of that nature. So it's getting closer. Still going to go on for a while yet, but obviously really good progress. So.
Any questions for Mr. Bogus?
Yeah, Rick, it's nice to see it finally coming to an end, or at least getting close. I've brought this up before about the islands. I know you had mentioned that last year they were going to try to overseed or whatnot with the weeds. And I can understand some of the weeds, but obviously something needs to be done. But the 18 inches that they poured inside the curb of concrete, I don't know if that didn't get joint sealed correctly or whatnot, but I mean, if across from BD, the weeds are horrendous through there. It looks like grass because they're just all over, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'll take a look at that to see if there's supposed to be some sort of sealant or something in there. I'm not really sure. I'll check what their standard is. But that's something that will make sure that the state's aware that, before the contractor is released in the project, that he's done everything that he's supposed to do. And then, even at this point, it's some of the maintenance is city responsibility, depending on what we're talking about and where we're talking about. So we'll work all through that in the next few weeks here.
Thanks.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Bogus.
Item 9B, update on the Nebraska Department of Transportation Loop River Bridge project.
Well, that too is obviously not near done, but it's going. So they're just doing some pier removals, working on their temporary construction bridge. They're getting ready to do some pilings. They are going to, in the next couple of weeks, restripe the existing bridge that's utilized, that east bridge. They've tried different things in the center lines. There's been issues with that. A lot of cones have been destroyed and moved. They talked about it at the district-wide and even at statewide. And so what they're going to do is they're going to it's more of like a permanent striping over on that side, so it'll have some sort of reflectivity. And those cones will eventually then go away. What's happening here is some of the larger agricultural equipment is hitting it, and sometimes vehicles and trucks too. But come winter, you got snow removal, and so what they do in the winter is they do that. And so that probably won't happen for another couple of weeks, but they're going to do that at hopefully some unbusy time period here. So anyway, they're working through that sort of stuff. Emergency action plan's been sent in and everything's been approved there. That was actually done by the engineer, so it's just got all that information. So between the Corps of Engineers, State of Nebraska, and the city, we all have a plan. If there's an emergency action plan, that would happen. So we're all good to go there. They're still on schedule. Get into the end of 27 when that'll get done.
Any questions for Mr. Bogus on the Loop River Bridge?
Another one, maybe you can help enlighten everybody. There's been a lot of concerns with that temporary bridge that the construction company has built. And I understand where it's set for the flood levels, but maybe if you could maybe enlighten on that to help.
Yeah, so that's what that emergency action plan is. So that's one of the things that it is. One of the requirements because of the river and of course of the levee in this case. We have a plan in place that what should happen if there'd be something like an ice break. There's some minimal things that can be done early. There's some larger stuff that can be done. But the temporary bridge, when it was also designed by the engineers, and they had to get it all approved through the Corps and all that for that purpose. So it is something that we're obviously need to keep an eye on. The contractor's aware of it. Everybody has a plan in place if something would happen. But they did keep that in mind when they tried to set that up and do that the best that they can. Of course, Mother Nature will be Mother Nature. But they do have a plan in place if something would happen.
Any other questions, Mr. Bogus? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to new business.
Item 13A, purchase from Anderson Auto Group in the total amount of $155,631 for 3 patrol vehicles for the police department. It's our CIP number 21-05, 06, and 07.
I move the purchase for Anderson Auto Group for the 3 patrol vehicles be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase from the Anderson Auto Group. Any discussion?
I just have a question for Chief Stecker.
Acting Chief Strick.
Oh, acting, excuse me. People are always asking me, why do we need more cars when we have so many still sitting in the parking lot? Can you address that for the public?
Yes, in order to keep our fleet current, we have to keep purchasing vehicles. What we do with vehicles is called hot seating. So those vehicles run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, generally, unless someone has a day off or something. So they're constantly being used, which puts miles on them. And we have, a long time ago, found out that at about 100,000 miles on a police vehicle, that's when you start having, it's the worth is not the same as what the cost to keep it running is. So it's just, they're excuse me, they're moved back out. The old ones are moved and put on auction, and the new ones are brought in so that we can keep current, we can keep our vehicles running, so we can continue to bring services to the community that we know we need to bring.
Great, that's kind of what I've been telling them, but it's best to hear it from you. Thank you.
Don't run off.
Yep.
We're spending, let me
Thought I was
get
off the
my
hook.
numbers right. We're spending $155,631 for the 3 patrol vehicles. The rest of the budgeted money of $80,000 apiece will be used for new equipment, radios, cages. I understand all that. But you get ready to get rid of this vehicle, and we pay Anderson $1,000 to take all that stuff back out.
Yes.
What happens to it? Is it no good by that time?
A lot of times it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times it's, because
Well, it's all,
the prisoners are always not good to the cages and
yeah.
some things like that. So and I know that we have some spares that we keep in case there would be some type of one get broken or something. We can use that.
Well, with all this electronics nowadays, it's amazing that it lasts that long, probably.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, it seems like we're updating radios always.
Yeah.
So
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. And for the public's knowledge, that was Acting Chief Brett Strecker, because he did not introduce himself when he came up.
Incognito.
Keep him till he gets it right.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, purchase from Bright in the amount of $238,511 for vehicle computer systems for the police department. This is CIP number 26-01.
Mr. Mayor, move the purchase from Bright for vehicle computer systems be approved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase from Bright. Any further discussion?
Yeah, this kind of goes to the previous question, Chief, or Acting Chief, sorry. Some of this equipment in there, is there any way some of that can be reutilized to some of the city vehicles or something like that? And I don't know if some of it could be used, but maybe some of that could be used, some of our crews, so they have a computer on hand. I'm just asking if some of that can be reused, I guess.
Brett Strecker, interim chief, please.
That was very,
Like if
that
you're
was very
asking if
good.
like these radios can be given to maybe the street department or something like that?
Correct.
Is that what you're?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm not certain on that. I'm not sure if they operate on the same wavelength, because ours are programmed to run secure channels and some things like that. So, I mean, it does seem like a waste that we're constantly putting radios in. It's the problem of technology now, where we have to keep up. When they move something forward, we have to keep up and move something forward too. I can remember using the same radio in cars over and over and over again when I first started, but it's just, it's just like a laptop, 2 days after you buy a laptop, it's obsolete. So it's kind of the same with radios. And so, as far as, and I know the fire department gave radios to that town in Mexico. And I mean, that's something that when I saw they did that, I thought that was something we should maybe look to do also, or there may even be towns in the United States that we could assist. But I just don't know if it would cross over well to other departments.
clarification.
Well, I think one thing to make sure the public's aware of, and you had mentioned that as we roll these new cars in, that, some get sold, some go to auction. But I think the city as a whole always looks to where are needed where is a vehicle needed to those that aren't on their last leg, those that maybe need to be changed out but still are functional, which you'll then see some departments utilizing old cruisers for their
Yes.
work. So,
That is true.
I mean, actually, it's a rolled out system, but it takes many rolls before they're gone sometimes. So I think the public needs to understand, just because we're trading out one doesn't mean it's the best one in the system and it's gone. They hang on for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions on the Bright purchase? Seeing none? All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, purchase from SEI and Dell Technologies in the total amount of $76,950.60 for security cameras and server upgrades for the library. This is CIP number 26-02. I think it's worth noting that the Library Foundation has offered to pay for this expense.
Oh, that's very worthy. That's very worthy to note. That's awesome. I need a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the purchase from SEI and Dell Technologies for security cameras and server upgrades be approved.
You can second. We have a motion and a second to purchase the security upgrades for the library. Any further discussion? And thank you for noting that it was from the Library Foundation. Without further discussion, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Just a quick item, it was a budgeted item, so there's $76,000 floating around in our budget that you could use for other stuff?
No, the CIP sheet notes that the foundation is paying for it. It was not funded by sales tax. It was funded by the foundation the whole time.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
still in
so-
our CIP, though. We still have to have spending authority in the city budget.
Okay, all right, just a quick question.
Okay.
Item 13D, purchase from Overdrive Incorporated in the amount of $10,000 for ebooks and audiobooks download content for the library.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of, purchase from OneDrive Incorporated to the amount of $10,000 for ebooks and audiobooks.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to purchase from OneDrive.
Overdrive.
From Overdrive.
Overdrive, new glasses.
Yep. The audiobooks and download content for the library. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 13E, plan specifications, estimate of cost in the amount of $2,119,244 and authorization to advertise for bids for well number 20. The plans and specifications are on file in the engineering department. This is CIP number 25-67. I think it's worth noting this is a brand-new well.
And I think it would be worth noting this would be probably the beginning or one of the first parts of that 10-year plan that was laid out last year for our water department, which is basically a $60 million plan over the next 10 years. And this is the beginning of it. Is that not correct?
Correct.
All right. Any other questions regarding this? Seeing none. All those,
Do we have a motion?
oh, I'm sorry.
Mr.
Mayor,
Mayor, move the plan specifications, estimate of cost, and authorization to advertise for bids for well number 20 be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve plan specifications, estimate of cost for well number 20. Any further discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 13F, comments from the mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion may be held on this item.
Council members, any comments this evening?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, in front of you, I gave you a brochure from the Nebraska area for the aging. It kind of gives you some idea of what they do. Their mission is to assist older adults to remain independent in their homes as long as they can possibly. And there's a lot of services that they give. And anybody in the audience would like more information, there's some laying on the table.
Very good. Any other comments from council members? I do have a comment this evening. I'd like to take a minute and report to the council and the residents of Columbus that the gifting of our expired firefighters' equipment to the community of Zacapu, Mexico, was completed this past week. For those that might not remember the story, our firefighter, Aaron Perez, started this process over 2 years ago with a vision of finding a use for the equipment that we are mandated to dispose of and finding a way to get this equipment to his hometown of Zacapu that would certainly use it. After months of coordinating work by our fire department, Central Hispano, and then a visit to Columbus by the mayor of Zacapu, Moni Valdez, the details were finalized and the equipment was shipped to Mexico. A group of us, including my wife, members of the Columbus Fire Department, and members and family from Central Hispano made a trip to Zacapu at the request of their community. We were welcomed with a ceremony at their town square. We participated in the actual handover of the equipment at their fire station. We were honored at an evening ceremony where we were thanked and we exchanged signatures on our resolution adopting each other as sister communities. And we were asked to participate in their parade where I walked side by side with the mayor and our firefighters rode horseback, bringing up the rear of the parade. I have never felt so welcomed or appreciated. We were constantly thanked as we walked through the community. At every turn, it seemed as if someone turned to us and said, "Thank you." I was honored as your mayor to represent Columbus and be part of such an event. Just think about it. Something that was deemed useless by us found a home and a useful life elsewhere. Now tell me that's not a feel-good story. Finally, let me be perfectly clear to any naysayers or those that want to sow false rumors and innuendos. Not a dime of taxpayer money was spent on this project. All right, we'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R25-122, adopting the schedule of fees for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mr. Mayor, move that resolution number R25-122 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R25-122. Anybody have any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R25-123, approving the agreement with the Columbus Rural Fire Protection District for fire and emergency medical services.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R25-123 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R25-123. Any discussion?
Yes, for the public's sake, could we have a brief discussion on what's going on? Why did this come to be, and how it's going to operate?
Sure. In the past, just recently, we came up with the EMS agreement. Everyone remembers that discussion. Prior to that, we had an agreement specifically for fire service. That agreement is due to end in December of this year, and it was the rural board and my hope to kind of combine those into one agreement, discussing some of the hindrances to the services we provide. So some of that being obviously the money that they're going to pay into this program and the services that they're going to get out of it. I think it's really important to know from the community and council's part that this changes nothing operationally for the Columbus Fire Department. We are already providing the services that are listed in this agreement. This is going to streamline our operations. It's going to organizationally clean things up. Everyone's going to be operating from the same rule book. It's really just cleaning. This is where it should have been all along, in my opinion. There's been changes with the rural fire department as far as membership numbers, which is a challenge across the state and our country. And it's just to the point that we needed to put something long-term on paper that is going to provide the services that the citizens in the rural district expect. And there's going to be some payment for those services. So,
Any other comments or questions? I can add that I had a conversation today with Kevin Schuler, who actually spearheaded this whole process from the rural fire side of it. Kevin called me. We visited because he had a conflict and could not be here tonight, wanting to make sure it was okay. And I said, yeah, it's okay. You're calling me. We're having discussions. And quite honestly, the discussions had been going on whenever this thing was going back and forth. Both Ryan and Kevin, between them making changes and making adjustments, kept everybody in the loop as it was going on. So they're behind it. Our fire chief's behind it. The services do not change to the rural people. They do not change to our people. It cleans everything up and makes it one. Any other comments or concerns? All right.
I'd like, Mr. Mayor, one more thing to add. Councilman Hemer called me this afternoon just to clarify this one point about he didn't see any annual escalation in the price. That was something that was discussed. The rural board had asked that we give them the same price for the term of the agreement. So what we did was we took that amount that they're paying, that we're currently paying with an increase, and then we increased that 3% over the 10 years, took that number and then averaged it out over the 10-year period so that they are in essence paying escalation, but it's just consistency for them that it's the same amount. So that was a very valid point by you, Mr. Hemer. Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R25-124, awarding community development block grant funds to Columbus Blanken Trust Company for downtown revitalization.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R25-124.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 25-124. Any discussion? No reason to have anybody come forward and explain or anything? All right, I just had to ask. All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on our second reading.
Item 16A, ordinance number 25-14, amending section 133.99 of chapter 133 of Title 13 of the Columbus City Code regarding the penalty for discharge of fireworks in violation of city code. This is a second reading. If there's any public comment.
Yeah, we will make no motion or any action, but if there's any public comment, obviously not. So we'll move on, and moving on means meeting adjourned.